take 112. Just kidding. Okay. Hey everybody, my name is John Adamson. I am part of TCOC and here to host the Mount Saint Helens trip next year in 2025, early June. Really excited to really put together a team and also just to have a great get together to glorify God and enjoy the creation that He has. When you do a climb on Mount Saint Helens, Mount Rainier, you are typically either owning the gear or renting your gear from guided services so that you can make it to the top. Some of this gear you guys may have. Some of this gear you guys be like, I've never heard of that gear, never seen that before, never heard of it. Do I actually need it? So today I will be going over just the necessities, and then I'll cover a couple optional ones and kind of describe why they're optional. So approach shoes, you're going to need those. If you just want to wear, because we're not packing heavy gear, you could technically just have like a pair of sneakers. There might be some mud on the way up there, so nothing that you're going to be worried about getting dirty. Okay, boots. So you're going to need to have mid-high to high top boots, which means that you need to have your ankles covered with your boot or higher. Now, I'm going to show you the boot that I have. This one would be a mid-high right here. So my ankle falls about right, my ankle bone. So it goes above my ankle, but it's not heading up my calf. Like if it was any taller, it would be a high top or a very high top boot. But right here, this is all that I need to climb St. Helens and Rainier. I am not going to recommend you guys to purchase this boot. This boot I got from secondhand. It's a Scarpa, and it's neat because it has like a neat feature, which we'll talk about gaiters in a bit. So this boot is great for really cold weather, ice climbing, stuff like that, where I can actually zip up the laces and be protected. This boot is very costly. So if any of you show up with one of these, you are high roller, or you have very loving friends, or you have come across an amazing deal like I did. These were very lightly used and got on a great deal. And I'm going to be climbing St. Helens at least every year. So I wanted to invest in something that's going to keep my feet dry. You want to make sure that there's some sort of like waterproofing or some sort of, if it's waterproof, or we don't want water resistant. If we do water resistant, it's fine if it's a nice bluebird warm weather. When I went up it this May, I didn't have these boots at the time, and so I just wore some Marmot shoes or hiking boots that I had. And when I came down, my feet were soaked, but they weren't uncomfortable because of the nice weather that we had. If it was cold weather, I would probably have cold toes, really uncomfortable. It just so happened that I lucked out. So anyways, you want to have some waterproof boots, high top, that you can lace on up. Yeah, that's what you want to have for boots. If you have any other questions, just bring it up during the Q&A that we have in the next couple weeks, and we can talk about all sorts of things, boots. But big thing you want is sturdy, good ankle support, and you don't have to go over the top, right? This is something that this may be a repetitive thing that you do, or it might just be a once in a lifetime. Kind of keep that in mind with what you're purchasing, if you have to purchase, what you're renting, if you're renting, and if you have any questions, just shoot pictures, use references from websites. That's a great way to really get the ball rolling. So next, socks. So you're gonna need wool or synthetic socks. Do not wear cotton socks. Please do not wear cotton socks. They soak up moisture from your feet. If they get wet from snow or anything like that, you will be uncomfortable. There will be chafing, and it's a bad situation. So I have 2 pairs of wool synthetic, I don't know what they are, socks. I have a mid-weight right here, and I have a heavyweight. The heavyweight, it may be overkill. If it's all you got, bring it. Just keep in mind that whatever boots you have, you need to attribute for that extra thickness of the sock. So I will probably just wear some mid-weights, and I'll bring 2 pairs, and I'll talk about that later about extra clothing. But yes, I'll have 1 pair that I'm wearing and 1 pair in my bag. So that is socks. So thickness, warmth, comfort, all that jazz. Okay, gaiters. This is the first optional item I'm going to talk about. Gaiters are a fancy tool that you can use that kind of keeps rain, snow out of your socks. So for instance, if I had my boot here, you would actually run, it kind of has like a stirrup right here that goes underneath your boot, right here. And then it comes up your leg where you can then zip it up, and it protects the laces right like this so that you don't have snow going into your boot or ice or water going into your boot. So it's a great tool for kind of some light mountaineering and alpining that we're doing. But because we're heading straight up a mountain through a bunch of snow, what can actually happen is in this area, as you're hiking up, you'll actually, if the snow's wet enough, it'll start to pack underneath the gaiter. And then you're basically like, packing a hot dog full of snow, and you'll have this thing full of snow and then getting into your boot. So it actually will attract more snow into your boot. Whereas if you didn't have it, you'll get snow in your boot. So it depends on if you want like the possible guarantee of having snow in your boot or the possibility of maybe. Guaranteed if the snow's in the current condition, maybe without the gaiter. So if you want them, you can buy them, rent them, whichever you want to do. I don't have waders at this rental place that I can use, but it's whatever you want. The reason why I got this boot is because right here I can actually zip it up, and there's no possibility of having snow going into my boots. So, all right, so base layers. Let's talk about base layers. So headgear stuff, if you have any of these things called balaclavas, you can have these on you, with you. They're great because they can keep your ears warm and for some sun protection, but it keeps you extra warm. This will be great if we are going up the mountain and it's overcast or it's cold and windy. These will be great for what we need. So a balaclava, I'm going to say yes. This is what you're going to want to wear underneath everything. So if you want to have like this really thin long sleeve shirt like this, and then have another like polyester shirt over it, just so you have one more layer, you can do that. That's what I did last time, just so I had I didn't get down to just my base layer. I can have one more. I could take that off if I want and still have a full long sleeve base layer. So anyways, here's a thin one. I also have like a medium thick one. So this one would be similar to like this would be just a little bit lighter than a Malanzana, if you're familiar with that. A Malanzana or like a waffle grid hoodie. This one's thicker. This one's much thicker than this one. So I would say this would be light. This would be a medium base layer. And this would be like my thick base layer. This is the waffle grid material right here. It has like a neat like balaclava style hood, so I can cinch it up. And it keeps me warm and actually may keep me too warm for this trip. So if it's nice bluebird weather, I won't be bringing this because it'll be too warm for this. I'd probably wear my medium weight right here with no hood, or my lightweight with an extra polyester shirt or a synthetic shirt over it. And also try it out. Like go out on a run, go out on a hike, wear your stuff, and you can be like, wow, this is way too hot. This is not. Oh my gosh. And also Long John's base layer right here. So I have two styles. This one's probably what I would wear more for snow. It's more of a synthetic soft fabric, more akin to like a cotton textile. Or there's also these ones where like this is true spandex. You're gonna want to have a base layer without a doubt. Mid layers will be this right here. So this would be like a synthetic sweatshirt. Right, you can get. I think they have them at Costco too. You can get like a hoodie that's synthetic. This would be my mid layer. So I would wear my base layer shirt right here, a base layer long sleeve shirt, very light, very moisture wicking, and it's not gonna make me cold like cotton. Wear this, and then have my mid layer over this, and so that may be the way I hike the majority of the way up St. Helens. Rain jackets. So this is a rain jacket that I have. I know that there's been some conversations on the gear chats about like how many layers, like 3 layers, 2.5 layers, 2 layers. I'm sure that you probably have heard other questions regarding waterproofing And so basically, if you're out there looking for rain jackets, you want to, there's a very common material called Gore-Tex, which is a nylon material that is treated, patented treated, and it's like state of the art for a very long time, rain repellent and breathable material. It keeps the rain out, and your body heat moisture, your moisture will actually pass through the material. There are lots of jackets online. You can spend $100 to like $800 on a jacket. So, you know, please just like spend the money as you need. Like, this isn't a call to like buy the best gear. I know that I use my gear a lot. So, and I have been doing outdoor stuff, outdoor guiding for so many years that I do buy, I do purchase because it's a better investment for me. But if this is just going to be a one and done sort of thing, just to get a regular rain jacket. So let me talk about this one right here. So this is a Costco rain jacket that I got. Just so I can get it dirty, you know, doesn't matter if it gets ruined. This jacket will probably last 45 minutes in a downpour, maybe even less. But if it's a drizzle, it'll be fine. This jacket is not DWR treated. DWR is a aerosolized chemical that you can spray onto nylon material that makes it water resistant. Okay, so here I have a windbreaker that I've used on Rainier. This is a single layer of nylon right here, similar to like a hammock, except maybe just a little bit thicker. And I use this on Rainier with a base layer, a mid layer, and this, and that was enough to keep me warm while hiking up the slopes of Rainier in like 10 mile an hour, 15 mile an hour winds. Anything more than that, you know, we would have canceled. But anyways, a windbreaker is super helpful. This isn't on the gear list that I'm going to be sending out, but if you have something like this, it's literally just a single layer. Break out yours from like the 80s and 90s and wear it up on that mountain. It's a lot of fun. But this would be a single layer, and then if it had a print on the inside, as you can see, it's kind of, there's nothing there. This print on the sleeve, if that was inside this jacket, it would be considered 1.5 layer. So just so you know the terminologies on that. Rain pants. You absolutely need rain pants for this trip so that we can slide down the mountain. If you can, check out my Facebook page or Instagram, whichever it is. I do have a video of me sliding down the mountain. It is a kick in the pants, and you need rain pants for it. And we also need rain pants in case it does rain. There's many kinds. They are not all alike, but if you just have anything that's treated with a DWR, considered waterproof, what would be really helpful is if it has zips on, minimal zips on the ankles so that you can fit your boot around it and slide them on. My rain pants have zippers that go from all the way at the top of the hem, top of the waist down to the hem, so I can stand up and zip up my pants. I don't have to sit down. I don't have to, you know, put them on like a pair of pants. I can literally unzip the legs, put them on, zip it up, and I'm good to go. That we will be sliding down with an ice axe, and I have patches here. See this right here? I got multiple patches on my pants because the tip of the ice axe has, as I was like crossing over, I accidentally snagged my pants and put a rip in it. We will have gear tape on the slopes with us and duct tape. So if in a pinch, you know, if you split the rain pants and we need to repair them on site, we'll be able to do so that it's not going to slow us down the rest of the day, right? We don't want to make it so that everyone can slide down the mountain except for one person. Let's talk about what pants you'll be wearing, right? We talked about a base layer like long johns on the bottom of spandex or polyester material. You're going to need to have some sort of hiking pants. As it supports movement, it's breathable, and has pockets and functionality and stuff like that. So you don't need to worry about, does it have, little budgies for the ankles? But that's helpful for me. But you just need something that's going to be able to withstand the movement. It can breathe because we're going to get sweaty climbing up these mountains, and it can support you on the trip. Cool. A couple other things. Gloves. So your gloves need to be waterproof. Here's my winter gloves. These are snowboard gloves. They weren't waterproof, so I had to DWR them. But basically, I'm gonna need, you're gonna need these if you're, in the snow and you're digging, your hands are in the snow. You don't want your hands to get cold if it's gonna be overcast and windy, it's going to be cold. You're going to take them off and you're going to be like, wow, it feels like the dead of winter. So what you're thinking is if you're going to have snowboard gloves, ski gloves, or what you would wear on a really cold walk in the winter, and you need to handle the snow. So yeah, get something that's waterproof and heavy duty. If it's going to be beautiful weather, we're talking bluebird day, sunshiny day. I have some running gloves here. I just picked these up. I forget where. Really cheap stuff, but basically this is for sun protection. So I'll wear this to keep the sun off my skin, or literally you will burn like crazy on the mountains. So get yourself a pair of these. So when I go up on the trip, I will have a pair of heavy duty gloves and a pair of light gloves. If it's not cold, rainy, wet, or I'm not handling the snow, I'll just wear these the entire time and make my way through the whole day with just these. If you want mittens, you can do mittens. Keep in mind that mittens have the dexterity issues there. Sunglasses. This is really important. It is so important. It's like make or break important. When I hike, I carry 2 pairs of sunglasses. So if my friend loses theirs, I have an extra pair for them. Polarization protection and how close it hugs to your face. So a regular pair of sunglasses here, right? I can wear them. I can look on the side, and there's all this dead space right here. In the summer months, it's because of the dust that the wind kicks up on St. Helens. But in the winter time, the sunshine is so, it reflects off the snow and the ice so well that you can get something called snow blindness, which is basically like it's trauma to the eyes, and you basically go blind momentarily till it comes back. But basically you need sunglasses. You can get away with some really dark sunglasses with no side protection. You can, or you can put some duct tape on the side. That's what some people do if they just want to be savvy, and that's fine. If you want, you can also buy glasses with that protection. You can get some cheap ones on Amazon. This one is a fancy pair that I have with side shields that are magnetic right here. And as you can see, when I put them on my face, they cover up the sides right here. You'll be up on the mountain. You'll take these off. You'll be like, holy cow, I'm so glad I have these. It's a make or break. If you don't have this, so that's definitely not it's not optional. You absolutely need it. Let's talk about headwear. You can have a beanie if it's cold. That's absolutely important. If it's on the day that I went, it was Bluebird Day, I just wore my TCOC hat right here. And this was a concern that I did have for a little bit right here, just getting sun exposure on the back end of my hat. Luckily, I had one of those sun hoodies. It's similar to spandex, right? But it's looser fitting, right? And it has a hood built in, so I'd pull it over my head, and then or I'd wear this and put the hood over that to keep my head from burning. This was nice because it's breathable, but I definitely needed the sun protection on the back. Hats, a must. This is called a buff. This is similar to, I'm sure that maybe some of you guys have these from hiking or maybe through COVID. But basically it's a neck piece that you can wear and you can pull it over your face. I've used this. This was a cheap one from Amazon that I used through COVID. This is like almost $30 at REI. This was like $5 pack of 3 or something like that. Or like, it was like, paid $15, I got 3 of them. So either of these would work. Hot sunshine, you don't want to wear balaclava. It's too hot. It's going to burn you. You're just going to get overheated. This stuff, very thin material and breathable, and it protects you from UV rays. This is a 25 liter bag right here from REI. This one is too small per what they're saying, but I can pack pretty well. And a lot of my stuff is pretty compactable, and I've done a lot of hiking, so I'm able to do that. But definitely stick to the 30 as your rule of thumb. And you're gonna need a pack that has pockets, outer bits, and also something to carry an ice axe. So right here I have a pack loop. I can stick this in here, give it a few lovely twists, and then secure it to my bag so that I can climb without having it in my hand the entire time. So 30 liter bag minimum, so that you can make sure you carry everything that you need. As far as water goes, you need a minimum of 3 liters of water. Here is a 3 liter water reservoir. I didn't use these much. I use this on Rainier and I flippin' love it now. But on St. Helens, I just literally packed 3 liters of water. I think I did a liter of Powerade, Gatorade. Electrolyte drinks is fine. You just don't want to only pack electrolyte drinks. You want water and maybe one electrolyte drink. Electrolytes. So some of you may have seen it, but there are tablets, there are juices, there are gummies, there are chewy bits. I mean, you name it. There's so many different options these days for electrolytes. So find your, pick your poison and make sure you bring electrolytes. You're gonna need, speaking of food, lunch and snacks, right? So high energy foods, we're talking either trail mix, snack bars, sandwiches. If you want to bring Chipotle, I don't care, like, or you want to bring cold pizza, like, do that. You just want high calorie, easy to do. We're not going to go up there and like build a fire and have like, top ramen. We're just going to eat whatever's up there, or bring whatever we want to eat up there. What I typically do is I do the 3 portions, and I've shared this in the food chat, but I do I do sweets, I do carbs, salt, like I do sweets, salty, and protein. And so protein focused, they can be intermixed, but what I'll do is on the hike, when we're going on our way up, I'll have some snacks in my pocket and like have a couple sweet snacks. So maybe like a couple packs of, fruit snacks, and then hike more for, keep hiking, do that while I'm hiking. 30 minutes in, I'll like grab a pepperoni stick and eat a pepperoni stick and keep going, and just kind of like quick snacks. When we take a break, that's when you break out a little bit more, but you are basically, in a way, you're just continuing to fuel the fire as you make your way up, rather than eat a ton, hike a lot, eat a ton, hike a lot. I like the 3-step rule, and also intermixing them, like, Cheez-Its and Reese's Pieces, the sweet and salty, mixing those two together, just to kind of keep my palate interested. I find that when I'm hiking and I'm not angry at what I'm eating, I'm a very happy hiker. If I really don't like what I'm eating, then it just adds more to the to all that you're doing. Okay, so lunch and snacks, we'll get into that later. But anyways, just make sure that you know that you're putting that in your pack. Ice axe. You're gonna have an ice axe with you. This is gonna be your go-to for when you are climbing up. Optional is trekking poles with snow baskets on it. The reason why those are optional is because at the rate or the incline that we're climbing, the poles, you get kind of tired of it. Everybody that brought poles usually gets exhausted, and you're expending energy like this, and you're focused on where am I putting these little baskets as you're climbing up. And so that's why it's optional. I'm not going to stop you if you really need it. If you're like, this is my stability, cool. Just so you know, it's going to add more energy to what you're doing, and absolutely you can bring it. But you want to make sure they're adjustable, because if they're ski poles, you're going to be kind of like weirdly stanced as you're making your way up the mountain. So they have to be adjustable if you bring them. This is definitely going to be a requirement. I have, through the Navy, a benefit where I can rent some equipment. So it's 3 pieces of equipment, and this is just a quick plug. I can rent ice axe, crampons, and boots. I can rent those all for it's $16 for each of them for the weekend. I think the boots are the boots are $20 for the weekend. Ice axe $16 for the weekend. Crampon $16 for the weekend. And ice axe about $100 at REI. About $40 to $60 on Facebook Marketplace if that's what you want to go. But we can rent it for $16 for the weekend. Crampons, micro spikes. Okay, so micro spikes. If you guys don't know what micro spikes are, they're kind of they're a neat tool that goes on the bottom of your boot. So right here, I would stretch this around the boot, and on the bottom of them, they have, and there's different types, but they're, right here, you have this metal bit right here, micro spikes. So if the going was getting a little bit slippery, you can stretch these out on your boot, and you can keep on hiking up. You can actually climb Saint Helens on a really nice day, beautiful day, without crampons and micro spikes. You can literally go up there. Your feet might be a little bit slippy slidey, but you can totally do it. So minimum micro spikes. However, if the conditions are cold and the ice is very stiff, this may not be enough bite for what you need. which gets us into crampons, which some of you think is a funny word in TCOC, but that's fine. Crampons are a amazing tool that they have these developed over the years, and as you can see, they are very aggressive. So this goes on the bottom of your boots, and these are universal crampons, which means these go with any boots. And basically, you would slip them on the bottom of your boot like this, so that you have all that grip right there, and you have the toe spike, so you can kick it into the mountain. Now, what you'll see on St. Helens is that there's a lot of people climbing this thing. On the day that we went, it was the weekend of Mother's Day. There was probably 200 people on the mountain, and we all go up single file line, which means that we all make way for each other. If there's a group going a lot faster, if that group is 2 people or 25, we'll let the whole group go by, and then we'll catch up with that. I will have crampons with me. And being in the first time I climbed, it was just like that extra bit of security on the ice. And at the same time, I was like, I'm training for Rainier, and I absolutely need these for Rainier. So I was like, you know what? I'll just wear the crampons, whether it's overkill or not. A couple things, toiletries. So if we do need to use the bathroom, the restroom, if you need to go number 1, you can do that anywhere on the ice. If you need to go number 2, we need a blue bag in. A blue bag is basically a special plastic bag that you need to put your number 2 in. There's not a lot of trees on the mountain. There are some rocks, outcroppings. There are some areas where you can hide and stuff like that. It's best to take care of that before the trip, or before you get away from the approach, where there's still a lot of trees. You can kind of get off to the side and do that sort of thing. Let's talk about diet. Please don't eat anything special before the trip. So don't be like, I never eat sushi, and I'm going to eat sushi this one time because YOLO, I'm going to go on Mount St. Helens. You have a bad bug and you're having trouble. So you don't want to do that. It's very tempting. A lot of people do it. Don't be like, oh, this clam chowder is like 6 days old, but you know what? I'm not going to waste it. Please just like take care of yourself in that sense. Cause yeah, being on the mountain, and there are stories. Cute. That's a good one for Q&A. I have a funny story of a friend of a friend, but I'm sure that you can you have your imagination. Okay, a couple of things. Sunscreen and lip balm. So we're gonna need sunscreen. You can do the straight up zinc, and you need lip balm, SPF lip balm. Like your lips will absolutely chap over, and you will bleed if you don't have that. So we will put it on, and you'll put it on multiple times. Like if it's every hour, it's every hour. If it's every 45 minutes, every 45 minutes. You want to make sure that you kind of protect your lips, stay hydrated, because your lips will, even regardless, you may still have some like cracking and flaking with your lips. You're going to put sunscreen on the inside of your ears, under your chin, and on the insides of your nose, because the sunlight will reflect off the light and hit those vulnerable areas that you typically don't think about when you're putting on sunscreen. The backs of your ears, right down here, and you'll have sunburns like in your nose, and it's pretty terrible. If you have your own medications, make sure you bring them. Over-the-counter medications, blister care. I'll have a kit for blister care. It probably won't be for everybody, but like for those who are really having really bad severe blisters, like we can use that. But if you're already blistering, you're already blistering. It's really sucky. So it's really important that we talk about foot care. You guys, if you get new boots, break them in. If you're walking, you're like, this isn't perfect, change what's going on. Because if you don't change it, then it's that near perfection is going to get bad. Lights. So you can do a headlamp. So I'm going to stress headlamps so you don't have to walk around with a flashlight. I have extras, but maybe like 2 extras. Don't count on it for me, but like we'll carry an extra in case something bad happens and someone like loses it, falls down the mountain, they need it. But you need a headlamp and extra batteries. Extra clothing, you're gonna want to put them in a dry bag or in a garbage bag. If you don't know what a dry bag is, it's an expensive piece of gear where you put your clothes in here and then you roll it up and then you snap it and everything stays nice and dry. This was a great alternative, but now that we have grocery bags in Washington that are extra thick, that is like, I don't know. Besides being able to seal it like this, those grocery bags are pretty awesome. Or a garbage bag, or a contractor bag. I have a bandana with you too, so that you can, you want to take care of the sweat on your brow or anything else. It's available for you to use. I will have a multi-tool with me. So I'm not going to make everybody bring a pocket knife, but if you're like a, 10 essentials person, bring the pocket knife. And the last thing on my list is trekking poles. So there you have it. That's it. That's the list. Sorry this is so long. There's really no way around it to, this length. If you have any questions, bring them up to Q&A. If you don't want to bring up Q&A because you're too shy, you can either take pictures of what you have, send it to me. You can either send me a message. We can talk it out. I'll do video calls, all that stuff. The biggest thing I need to make sure that is anyone who's going on this trip, that you feel comfortable with what you're doing. You have the gear that's necessary to make the trip, and that we're all on the same page. Just two more things before I go is one of them is training. Please be training. The link I'm going to send you guys has a lot of good local areas around Washington, what you can do to train. If you don't have any mountains in the area, you need to do Stairmasters. And then the big thing is duration. You can go for height, but what you want to be able to do is be able to walk stairs for about 45 to 50 minutes with like a 3-minute break to another 45 to 50 minutes. Probably going to be hiking up Saint Helens for 8 to 10 hours. I'm hoping, and that's up and down. Leave the trailhead at 5 in the morning to head up the mountain, to get to the top of the mountain by 11:30 or noon. That's 6.5 to 7 hours. And then we'll be sliding on back down. But definitely you want to be able to go for 45 to 50 minutes and to just take a short break. And when you take a break, you break hard. Like you will break and then you go again, because it's going to be another 45 to 50 minutes. That's what I have for you guys. So once again, check out the link with this video. Keep training, and the Q&A will be 5:30 Pacific Standard Time.